COVID-19 and the accompanying lockdowns walloped small business. One sector hit particularly hard were gyms and fitness centers. Earlier this week, they got the green light to ditch capacity limits and welcome back a full complement of patrons. And with us now on that, in Niagara Falls, Ontario, there's Maria Arshad. She is the owner of Anytime Fitness in St. Catharines, Ontario. Maria, it's great to meet you. Welcome to TVO. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about today.
Well, terrific. We're happy to have you. Tell us about your place. How long have you owned it for?
I've had my club for about 3 years, and our facility has been there for 10 years total.
Okay.
And we love to be a part of the community here. I feel like the St. Catharines community is very supportive of fitness and health and nutrition.
How many people belong there?
We have about 950 members.
Wow. So that's a lot of people who depend on you to stay in shape.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
And we're always happy to have them.
I'll bet you are. Tell me this, over the past 19 months since COVID-19 hit, how many times have you been closed down?
We've been closed for a total of 3 times. Of course, March 2020, when COVID first hit, we thought we were going to be closed for about 2 weeks. Literally, March 17th is when we were given the go to close down. And we put up a sign at our door that we'll be back on April 1st, thinking it'd be like a nice little break to understand what's going on in the world. And we had no idea we'd be closed for 3.5 months.
Oh, so it really was not April 1st at all. It was much longer than that.
Much longer, and a lot of uncertainty after the 2 weeks were gone. We weren't sure what was going to happen. Weren't sure what was going to happen to any of our businesses. Nothing was open. So it was very stressful, very challenging time for at least the small businesses.
So you got closed for 3.5 months, then you reopened again for how long?
We were open from July 16th to December 26th. So,
and they shut you down again?
They shut us down again in December, right before, I believe it was the day after Christmas. We got shut down till March 1st. And then we opened for 1 month. And then again, we were shut down April 2nd of 2021.
At what point were you ready to start pulling your hair out?
Well, when we reopened in July 2020, we were very excited to be open, just thinking that, you know, this is done. We know what's going on with this virus, how to contain it. We were very surprised to be closed in December, but lots of challenges along the way just to meet the laws that were ever changing. So very challenging time for all of us.
I imagine when you bought the place 3 years ago, you had no idea you would be having to deal with something like this, right?
No, absolutely not.
So,
absolutely not.
What was it like trying to run a place that the government told you open, shut, open, shut, open, shut for 19 months? What's that been like?
Honestly, it's been so challenging, and our members have been super supportive, but at the same time, we've faced a lot of members who didn't understand the situation of open, close, open, close. So there were lots of challenges along the way with retention, keeping our members motivated, getting them to come back to our facility, to the gym environment. They just felt so unsafe. They thought the only place safe was their home. So having to come, getting them out of the house and to rethink about their health and fitness was a really big challenge for us. Also, just navigating the governmental support, that was very challenging as well. I mean, the government, we're very grateful to have the support from the government, but we feel at the same time that small businesses were overlooked tremendously, and just to navigate through that. As well as, all the new rules that keep changing on a weekly basis. There's something new for your industry that you had to, kind of work into your business model, and to, just evolve on a weekly basis was very challenging.
Right. So you had, I mean, there were various things that you'd have to do in order to fulfill provincial protocols and that kind of thing. And I guess, obviously, when the club was shut down, your members, they didn't have to pay anything to join at that time, right? You forgave their monthly fees at that point?
Oh, yeah. So no service was being offered. So everybody's membership was frozen. And when we reopened, membership resumed again.
Okay, in which case, how did you manage? How did you manage with no money coming in? Because the fact that no money's coming in didn't mean you still didn't have expenses you had to deal with.
Oh yeah. So originally, when the rent subsidy was announced, our biggest expense is rent. So when that was announced, we were very grateful for to have that option, but it only covers 65% of your total expenses. So the rest of that we had to figure out. So that was financially very challenging, and like we're very grateful that we're still a functioning business and we were able to get through that. But it was very challenging to like just the uncertainty of being not open and to not being able to run a business. It was very stressful.
Mm-hmm. Now, you did mention earlier that there was a bit of a backlash along the way. Give us a sense of what kind of stuff you faced.
Well, when we reopened in July, there were a lot of people who were very eager to be back. They were very grateful. They had a new appreciation for fitness. And then there were the other part of our members who were very scared to be back, and they didn't want anything to do with a fitness environment. They just felt that when so many people are working out, it would be an unsafe environment for them and their family. So they tried to they reached out to us and we said, we'd be happy to freeze your membership further, no extra fees, nothing. But people were very frustrated and upset and angry, and they attacked us. The only way they could was through social media and leaving negative reviews on Google. And the service industry relies on reviews online to run their business now. And anyone who is looking for anything, they will Google the nearby businesses and check out the reviews to see if this is, where they should be spending their money. And those reviews definitely hurt us a lot. But luckily, people started to understand that, we are just like them. We're a small business. We're a locally owned business. I have a small family. I have 2 small children. I'm just like them. So I think that initial anger did get us a lot of negative press in our reviews, but then people did started to understand where we're coming from as well. So it worked out at the end, but it was very hard to kind of navigate people's feelings about the whole situation.
No, I'm sure, and I'm glad to see you're turning the corner right now. But do you recall what was the one thing on social media that you read that some perhaps less generous person put up there that really hurt you?
I feel like since COVID was such a big topic, when they were hurt, they would use COVID as their biggest weapon. They would be like, this place is not doing the right things in their facility to make it safe for you. So that really hurt us because we were doing everything we thought possible to be a safe place for our members to work out. And we were sanitizing every hour for 15 minutes, staffing our facility and paying very close attention to that. So that really hurt us because at that time COVID was so big, and when they attack you like that, you're very hurt because you're like, we're doing everything that we need to be doing, and still you're upset about your situation, so you're attacking us in that way.
Yeah, and Maria, let me just ask, to confirm, to the best of your knowledge, nobody caught COVID-19 at your club?
Nobody did. And we have 84 Anytime Fitnesses in Ontario, and we ran the transmission rate. And last year in December 2020, the percentages we have was 0.01 across the 84 facilities that we have. So very, very, very small numbers of the transmission was very small, where it was almost non-existent.
And just to confirm again, you are back to full capacity now? The place is humming? You got lots of people in there? Back to normal?
Yes, back to normal. We're so happy to be open and so happy to be servicing our members in St. Catharines and the Thorold area.
And again, let me confirm, I presume when people show up at the registration desk at the beginning to check in, they do have to show that they've been vaccinated, yes?
Absolutely. We're a 100% fully vaccinated facility. So you must have your full vaccination in order for you to work out at our facility.
And have any of your members shown up at that front desk and said, well, I haven't got my vaccination yet, but come on, just let me in?
Absolutely. We have those people, but we ask them, like, as soon as you have your second shot, you have the 14-day wait period. As soon as you're done with your 14 days, we would love to have you back. Until then, we will freeze your membership for free, and you have nothing to worry about payments or anything coming through. So we're here for you when you're ready to come back, and we are, we want to make healthy happen in your life. So that's our motto, really.
Anybody make a stink when you tell them they got to go away for now?
Honestly, those people who don't believe in being vaccinated, they do mention how this is not right. But we remind them that, we want to be back to normal, and we want to, do you remember a time when we were normal? We want to be back there, and we want everybody to feel safe in this environment. So unfortunately, at this time, we wouldn't be able to have you at our facility. And I feel like if you talk to them in like a human level, they always appreciate that, and they understand at this point. 19 months into it, they understand for sure.
I want to ask you one last question, Maria, and that is, was there a moment when you thought to yourself, my goodness, there's got to be an easier way to make a living than this. To hell with it. I'm shutting the doors and walking away.
Well, like I said, it's been very challenging, but I love fitness. I love helping people, and I love being open. So I didn't think about that, because this is our life, and I feel like our members are our community. So no, I didn't feel that, but we're just very excited to be fully vaccinated and to just be fully open and thriving.
And do you think you're open for good now?
Oh yes, absolutely.
No more shutdowns.
No more shutdown.
Okay, gotcha. Maria, it's really good of you to join us on TVO tonight. Thanks so much. Anytime Fitness is Maria Arshad's place in St. Catharines, and she joined us tonight from Niagara Falls, Ontario. Take care, Maria, and thanks again.
Thank you so much.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is made possible through generous philanthropic contributions from viewers like you. Thank you for supporting TVO's journalism.